everyone. It's Olivia and Ari. This past weekend was a little scary, and me and Brandon have had much scarier events with our little baby, but regardless, it's always scary when your child is in the hospital. So, um, she goes to daycare. I work with her, or I'm her teacher. I work at the same school that she goes to. And as you know, kids are full of germs and sickness and stuff. And so she's just been ongoing sickness for a while. Um, so she kind of had this cough and she was getting over it. And then she got this new cough and I was like, oh, this one sounds really worse. And I actually got it too. And then on Wednesday night, she got a fever, or like 103 out of nowhere. And I was like, oh no, like she's come out of fevers before. So I was like, it's okay, it's okay. I gave her a detox bath, upped her vitamin C. I mean, doing everything to naturally help her, gave her breathing treatments. And then come Friday night, after Brandon got home, we were laying with her on the couch and she's just so fussy. And I looked at her and I was like, her lips are blue. And I said, babe, do her lips look blue? And he said, yeah, they do. And I was like, should we take her in? Like, that's just, I always am just going to ask, should I? Even though, like, yes. Should we take her in? And he's like, yes. So we just dropped everything, ran out the door. She was so hot because she had a fever. So I barely dressed her. She had like a onesie and some pants on, no socks, nothing. Grabbed a blanket. Yeah, it was scary. So we run into the ER and thankfully it's only like literally 5 minutes away. And they ask, okay, what's wrong? Why is she here? We're like, she's had a fever for a few days. She has a horrible cough. She's not getting better. Um, and her lips are blue. And so they got us in and out of the ER in 2.5 hours. But we didn't leave. We actually didn't leave the hospital. But the ER part of the hospital was 2.5 hours. So they check her vitals and her oxygen was low, like like 90, but like it wasn't so scary to them. That overall good. She had 104.1. So they gave her Motrin because the one I gave her had worn off, and checked her ears. It looked like she had an ear infection. And they did a chest x-ray, which determined that she had more than one places in her lungs that was infected with pneumonia. They did a nose swab for flu, and they tried like a bunch of different strains of flu, and they were all negative. And then they did a nose swab for RSV. And every time I've taken her into the ER, which has been like maybe 5 times, they always tested for RSV, and it's always been negative. So when it came back positive this time, I was shocked. I was scared. I didn't know what it meant exactly because all I've heard is horrible, horrible stories about RSV. So I was terrified. I was like, what does that mean? What does this mean? Like, I'm freaking out. Like, I was really scared. I was like, all these times that you guys tested for RSV, it's always been negative. So I was so shocked that it came back positive this time. RSV is just a respiratory illness virus. And they told me that it creates sludge in the lungs. So it's like really thick, nasty mucus. And it takes a while. It takes a lot of coughing for it to come out and come up and get over it. And it's a virus, so they can't treat it with antibiotics. But they did blood work, and they saw that her body is fighting off bacteria. So they did do antibiotics. And like that one time they did antibiotics, it was like her fever went away. They pumped her with IV fluids, and she just got so much better in just that short amount of time. So that was really good. So she only had to stay one night in the hospital. They wanted us to be transferred by ambulance downtown, and we were like, do we have to? Like, she stayed at this hospital last year. Like, we are 5 minutes from the house. Do we have to be transferred by ambulance? Like, 35 minutes away. And they were like, oh, well, we'll see. And so they were able to get us a room upstairs. So we just had to walk upstairs. We didn't have to get in the ambulance or go anywhere far. And it felt good to know that we were really close to home. So we only stayed one night in the hospital, and all through the night and all through the next day, she didn't need any oxygen. So that was great. So we probably spent about 24 hours in total in the ER. You just took off the blinds. You silly girl. Daddy fixed that one. Um, so we probably spent a total of 24 hours in the ER, or in the hospital, including the ER. And her O2 was great. It dropped to the 90s when she was sleeping, like 90 when she was sleeping. And then the next day, she was like sleeping a lot during the day, and it was like 96, 97. So she was doing really, really well. And that's what they want to see. That's our ticket home, is if she can sleep and function without an oxygen mask on. So that was really great because back in April of 2017, she had pneumonia in the same hospital. It wasn't RSV, it was just pneumonia from being sick. And um, she was in the hospital for 4.5 days because she couldn't keep her oxygen above 90. So that was really scary. She had to have an oxygen mask the entire time. She was probably only off of it for like maybe 6 hours, and they're like, okay, it looks like she's doing good, you can go home now. RSV can be so hard, and especially because it's a virus, it can't be treated, it just has to be monitored, especially with like the oxygen. So just being on oxygen is part of the treatment for RSV. So she's doing a lot better. She's still mucusy, and her breathing and wheezing. Wheezing's another symptom of RSV, and it was really, really bad. And I had the same symptoms as her. I don't have pneumonia, and I didn't have a fever or anything, but um, I was like asking mom, I was like, I have this really bad cough and I'm wheezing. Like, do I have RSV? And they're like, yeah, probably. But for adults and like older children, it's just a bad cold. It's nothing crazy. Um, so yeah, so we got to go home the next day, and so that was great. But as soon as we got home from the hospital, maybe like 3 hours later, she was just a wreck, and she kept pulling on her ear and pulling on her ear. And she's had a couple ear infections before, but I've never seen her this miserable from an ear infection. It's so sad. She was pulling her hair by her ear because it hurt so bad. She was just crying, crying. She didn't sleep through the night. I didn't sleep. It was really scary. I was scared because she wasn't acting herself. She was like crying and grumbling and hitting me and pulling her hair, and it was really, really scary. So I'm really happy that she's doing so much better now. And she's back to herself. Can you say hi? Hi. I think she wants milk. So I'm just gonna quick sing. Oh, probiotics is huge, huge, huge when um she has antibiotics. Antibiotics can really mess up the gut, and that's why she has such bad. That's why anybody has such bad diarrhea on antibiotics. So probiotics are so, so, so important. So I'm making sure that she's doing that, especially. So yeah, I'll insert some super cute videos, and I hope you enjoy hearing our story this fun past weekend. It really sucked. It was really sad, and it was really scary, and it's really tiring on a mom because you're sick, but you have to stay strong for your baby, of course. So yeah, it's really funny. And I do want to do a video on her heart surgery very soon, because on January 23rd, 2018, it will be 1 year since her heart surgery. I just get the goosebumps thinking about it because she's come such a far, has come such a long way. And I'm just so grateful and blessed and thankful for her that she's here. And yeah, okay, can't get emotional. That will be for the other video. All right, thank you for watching. See ya. All right, come say bye bye. Oh, she stole some candy. Oh, say bye bye. Say bye bye. All right, see ya.
Oh, I'm gonna go. Oh, bye bye. Oh,
Oh,
oh, oh, where's Daddy going? Oh, Ben, Ben, no, you gotta go. I gotta go.
where's he
Oh, there I am. It's here, right? I appeared. I got a little cackle, little smile.
Hey. What is that, Ari? Did you get a cool arm? Careful. Careful, baby. You are so silly.
You scooting? Oh. You're so big. You are so big. Whoop. Whoop. So
Ari, where's your cool arm? Is that your cool arm?
Yeah, where's your sideboard? I mean, she's doing stuff with it now. It's scaring me.
I know, when I had an IV, I would not move.
There she is. Hi, Ben.
Oh, she has a fort.
Ha ha ha. Yeah. Oh, she pulled it over.
Oh no. Ai. What happened to your fort?
There she is.
Hello.
Hi, Howie.
She's hitting that thing. It's so cute.
We'll let you enjoy your little fort. Let's go. Oh, there she is.
I've been. Ooh. Ah. I'm gonna come get you. I'm coming to get you. Oh, here I come. Ah.